What's up, guys? It's Meow, I'm back with another video today, and I haven't done a trade tree in a little while, but with the announcement that Philip Rivers has retired from the NFL after his long career, I figured, why don't we go back to the 2004 NFL Draft and take a look at the Eli Manning, Philip Rivers trade tree, which I have here. Unfortunately, I still do not have the editing stuff on the computer to show the tree on screen the whole time. I apologize for that. But the reason why I wanted to look at this is because if you remember, this tree or this trade was not just Manning for Rivers. It was Manning going to the Giants for Rivers and three other picks. And the Chargers getting those picks, obviously. And what became of them? Well, two of them became some pretty good players, and the other, well, it didn't amount to much, but we'll get to that. So go ahead, drop a like, subscribe, and let's get on with it. So the thing to remember is that Eli Manning and his father Archie Manning did not want Eli playing for the Chargers. The Chargers had the number one pick in the 04 draft. They said, fuck it, we're going to take him anyway. And then the Giants ended up taking Rivers at 4, and then they made the trade. Now, the thing that I, would ask here is, what if the Giants took Ben Roethlisberger instead of Philip Rivers and traded him to the Chargers? And then Rivers goes to Pittsburgh. Let's just say that happens. How would Roethlisberger's career change, and how would Rivers' career change? You got to wonder. But that said, let's take a look. So, what was the trade? It was the Chargers sending Eli Manning as the number one pick to the to the Giants for Philip Rivers, who was the fourth pick in the draft, along with a 2004 third, 2005 fifth, or 2005 fifth, but also a 2005 first. Getting things a little mixed up here. My apologies. And that was the trade. So, why don't we start with Eli Manning? Because as a Patriots fan, this is going to be the most painful part of this, probably. And another thing is, it's crazy how the Patriots are involved with both of these quarterbacks. It's mind-boggling, but we'll get to that. So, Eli Manning, 2004 to 2019, played his whole career with the Giants, 236 games, 234 starts, 117 and 117 win-loss record, 500 record as a quarterback in this league. 4,895 completions on 8,119 attempts for 57,023 passing yards, 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions in his career. He played 12 playoff games, all of which were starts, 8-4 record with 242 completions, 400 attempts, 2,815 yards, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champion, defeating my Patriots both times. Yeah. And he was also the 2016 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award winner. Congrats to that. Here's the thing, though, with Eli, is as a full-time starter, which was from 2005 to 2018, because he only started 4 games, he only played and started 4 games in 2019, and in his first year, I believe he only played like 9 games and had like 7 starts. Here's the deal. He never had a season better than 12-4. And that was one time, 2008. The year after, in 2007, they went 10-6 and went on to, go through the wild card round, get to the Super Bowl, beat my Patriots in the Super Bowl, ending their undefeated season. He went 11-5 twice in 2005 and 2016. 2007 and 2010, he went 10-6. 2011, 2012, he went 9-7 both years. He went 8-8 in 2006 and 2009. He went 7-9 in 2013, followed by a 6-10 record in 2014 and 15, 5-11 in 2018, and in 2017 he went 3-12. He missed a game that year. It's mind-boggling to me, just the fact of how average he was, for his career. Again, he's a 500 record overall in terms of his, regular season stuff as a starter. And the thing is, he's obviously going to be known for the two playoff runs, the ones that got them all the way to the Super Bowl to beat the Patriots both times in 2007 and 2011. 2007 being the more memorable one because, the helmet catch and ending the Patriots' undefeated season, especially considering that the Giants lost to the Patriots in the regular season. But the thing that gets me here is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? Personally, if he wins one Super Bowl, he just won the '07 Super Bowl, I think it helps the conversation, but the Super Bowls are really what prop Eli up because aside from that, he wasn't as accomplished as his brother Peyton was. You could very much argue that Eli was better than his father Archie was. Granted, Archie didn't played on some pretty freaking bad Saints teams back in the day. Whereas, the Giants, when Eli was there, especially with the Super Bowl runs, they had guys like Michael Strahan in the later years of his career for '07. They ended up getting guys like Jason Pierre-Paul and Osi Umenyiora on the defensive side. And obviously on offense, they had guys like Plaxico Burress and David Tyree, the guy who made the helmet catch, and Ahmad Bradshaw later on, among other pieces. But the Giants teams that Eli Manning led, they were never anything special. And I guess that's part of Eli's legacy is because the Giants, they only did so much to get talent around Eli on both sides of the ball. But, and then just Eli just went out there and just led the team. They didn't have anybody extremely special. You could argue Michael Strahan in that sense, but again, he was in the later years of his career when he finally won a Super Bowl with them in 2007 when they beat the Patriots. I have to keep reminding myself of that. Um, but yeah, so is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? I think you could make the argument. In my mind, he's not a first ballot. It will take him a while, and I'm not totally sure he gets in, honestly. I'm not really sure. Um, but why don't we take a look at the other quarterback in this trade tree, Philip Rivers, playing for the San Diego / LA Chargers from 2004 to 2019. And then, of course, he played this past season with the Colts, but we'll get to that. 228 games, 224 starts with the Chargers. His first 2 years in '04 and '05, he only played 2 games each year. And the the other thing you have to remember is that the Chargers also had Drew Brees at one point. So you can see why Rivers wasn't playing much those first 2 years. Um, but regardless, he ended up going 123 and 101 win-loss record for the Chargers. 4,908 completions on 7,591 attempts for 59,271 yards, 397 touchdowns, 198 interceptions. 11 playoff games, all starts, 5 and 6 win-loss record, 211 completions, 355 attempts, 2,656 yards, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then obviously last year with Indianapolis, started all 16 games, went 11 and 5. 396 completions, 543 attempts, 4,169 yards. Nice. 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and then lost to the wild card round to the Buffalo Bills. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler, and he won Comeback Player of the Year in 2013, both from the Associated Press and Pro Football Writers Association. Here's the thing about Philip Rivers is he had more success. I would say he had his 3 best years. 2006, his first year as a full-time starter, where he went 14-2, 13-3 in 2009, and 12-4 in 2008 were his best seasons. And then he went 11-5 twice from 2007, and then 2020 with the Colts. He went 9-7 4 times: 2010, 2013, 2014, 2017, 8-8, 28 or 2008 and 2011, 7-9 in 2012. So from about 2008 to to 2014, he was mostly average between 7-9 and 9-7 in the win-loss column, with the exception of the '09 13-3 season. And then he went 5-11 in 2016, 2019, and 4-12 in 2015. You also have to remember that when he led the Chargers to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, the year the Patriots went undefeated, he played that game with no ACL in one of his legs, which I did not know that until I saw it mentioned yesterday with the announcement of his retirement. I'm like, holy shit. I saw a clip, like he had suffered it against the Colts the previous round. Um, that's admirable to see him do that. And the fact of the matter is that was not an easy game for the Patriots. The Chargers gave them all that they had, and unfortunately came up short. But regardless, you could argue Rivers had a maybe a better statistical career than Manning in some aspects. He did have more success at times. Again, 14-2 in his first year as a starter full time in 2006 after the Drew Brees departure. You know, 2009 he goes 13-3. Yes, he had a lot of average, win-loss records for the season in the middle part of his career, and then 2018 had the 12-4 record and such. And you could also say that the Chargers had more talent around him on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball at times in his career. Obviously, he had one of the best running backs of all time in LaDainian Tomlinson. Had some solid, really solid defenses. Obviously, had tight end Antonio Gates, who came out of nowhere when it came to his career, and so on and so forth. And then later on, guys like Keenan Allen at wide receiver, and on the defensive side, guys like Joey Bosa and whatnot. But he also never made a Super Bowl. The closest he got was the conference championship, and again, lost to the Patriots. You know, so the thing with Rivers is there's an argument to be made that he should be in the Hall of Fame at some point. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, but neither is Eli. Eli might be a first ballot, maybe, but he really shouldn't be. It's going to take them a couple years to get in, especially because there's a bunch of guys that are not in now, some who are shockingly not in now that should be. So it's going to be a while for Rivers and Manning to even get into the Hall of Fame, once they're eligible to do so. And also, fun fact, Philip Rivers had 29 comebacks and 35 game-winning drives in his career. Manning had 27 and 37, so just fun fact there. But if you were to argue who won this trade, just off the quarterbacks alone, yes, Eli Manning delivered 2 Super Bowl championships for the Giants. But he did it with teams that were, and he did it with teams that weren't necessarily all that special. But it feels to me like Rivers had more success with his teams early on. Again, 14-2 in his first year as a starter, 13-3 in 2009. And then that sort of last hurrah, I guess you could say, would be the 12-4 season in 2018, before going 5-11 in 2019. And I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think should be in the Hall of Fame? Manning, Rivers, or both, or neither? Let me know. With that being said, let's take a look at the other picks that the Chargers got in the Manning trade. We'll start with the 2004 third round pick. That became the 65th overall pick, and that became kicker Nate Keating. Keating? It's spelled Kaeding, so I'm not totally sure how you pronounce that. But anyway, he played with the Chargers from 2004 to 2011 and then part of 2012, and I'll get to that in a moment. 113 games, 180 field goals made out of 207 attempted, 349 extra points made out of 351 attempted, and in 8 playoff games, 8 field goals made out of 15 attempted, and he made all 18 extra points that he attempted. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time All-Pro. He was cut by San Diego in October of 2012 and signed in Miami in December of the same year. Played 2 games for them. Signed in Tampa Bay the following offseason, but never played. Very solid kicker. I mean, it's hard to really talk about kickers because they're kickers, but there have been some great ones out there, and Keating is a very solid one that the Chargers were able to get in the third round, no less. And then the following year, remember, they got 2 picks in the '05 draft as part of this trade. The 12th overall pick in the 2005 NFL draft became linebacker Sean Merriman for the Chargers. He played with them from 2005 to 2010, 60 games, 53 starts, 1 interception, 19 passes defended, 8 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 43 and a half sacks, 232 combined tackles, and in 5 playoff games, 1 pass defended, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, 19 combined tackles. He played 2 years in Buffalo, 15 games, 6 starts, 1 pass defended, 2 sacks, 26 combined tackles. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All Pro, and the 2005 Associated Press Defensive Rookie of the Year. Very, very, very good pickup right here for the Chargers. Um, and to be quite honest, you could say that injuries probably played a role in his career not maybe going longer than it did. But either way, he had a very solid career, very serviceable. He was, again, part of a very solid Chargers defense that helped out, during Rivers' time there while Merriman was there. And overall, very solid pickup for the 12th overall pick out of this trade. All right. So then there's the 2005 5th-round pick, which became the 144th overall pick. And that would end up becoming tight end Jerome Collins, but it would not be used by the Chargers. While he would be selected with this pick, it was traded from the Chargers to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in June of 2004 for offensive tackle Roman Oben, and then traded on April 24th of 2005, 1 year after the Manning Rivers trade tree, or, well, basically after the trade tree began, 1 year later, of course, as I said, to St. Louis for 2005 5th and 2005 7th. As far as Roman Oben's concerned, he was an offensive tackle who played with the Chargers from 2005 to 2007, 30 games, 24 starts. He played with the Giants for 4 years from 1996 to 1999, 2 years with Cleveland from 2000 to 2001, Tampa Bay 2002 to 2003, and then again with the Chargers. And the thing here is, that's a solid pickup right there. But in terms of the other picks that we acquired in the Rams trade, between the Bucks and Rams, wide receiver Larry Brackens would become the 5th-rounder, and I couldn't find a single thing on him with Pro Football Reference. The 7th-rounder ended up becoming Hamza Abdullah, a defensive back, but he never played in Tampa Bay. He ended up going to Denver, most likely got cut by the Bucks. Played with them, the Broncos, from 2005 to 2007, and then part of 2008. 24 games, 8 starts, 5 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 61 combined tackles. Got cut by Denver in 2008, signed with Cleveland for the rest of the season, then played 3 years in Arizona. So nothing special there. So not a huge trade tree, but the Chargers not only got Rivers back, for Manning, but they also got Nate Keating and Sean Merriman, both of which were very solid players for the positions that they played and helped out the Chargers, in the long run, during their time there. And again, you could argue a Hall of Fame case for either Rivers or Manning. Honestly, if not for the Super Bowls, I don't think Eli Manning has a Hall of Fame case to be made. Rivers has a much better Hall of Fame case to be made, even though he never made the Super Bowl, than Manning does, even with the Super Bowls. That's just my personal opinion. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I hope to do more trade trees in the future. One of these days, I'll have all the editing stuff and whatever to actually show you the tree on screen. But that said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.